Hey everybody, long time no chat. We're going to move forward here in advanced Revit. So the last lecture that we sort of wrapped up was all about the parametric windows. From what I've seen, you guys are doing pretty good in that. Hopefully by now you're nice and caught up and ready to sort of plow through the remainder of the semester. Um, so we are going to sort of I guess at this point, learn how to actually just model something in Revit. So you kind of did that like baby steps with the window. So you did model things and you created your own things um, using sort of a component and you made something through a component. So in that case, through a window. How in Revit would you just make something that you need to put in your model? Like it could be a piece of furniture. It could be something you'd like to add on to the structure, like an aesthetic piece or something aesthetic that you want to put on the walls to sort of enhance the spatial quality of a certain space. Like there isn't anything in Revit in the tools that really would do that. So, like, how could I just model it from scratch? Similar to sort of modeling something from scratch in SketchUp. I know most, if not all of you, know how to do that. So, you know how to sort of start a file and just model something. So in Revit, we kind of never went down that path to begin with. We sort of used all the components and tools that were built into Revit that all are architectural in nature. So in this lecture, we're just gonna learn those tools on how to just model something, and we are gonna model this, a piece of furniture that we can then pop into any model, any project model. So how do we model something like this? Now the tools that we use to do this are going to look familiar to you because we use them in conceptual massing, we use them in parametric windows. So this shouldn't be new per se, but in this case we're just modeling something else. All right. So we're going to start by creating a new family. So how do we do that? You know how. So we go to new. Now, remember, Revit is asking us, what is it that you would like to create? Now, if you remember, when we went to the parametric windows, we went all the way to the bottom and we just selected window. We went in, created that window. For just creating a generic model, we're going to use just that actual file name, generic model. Now, there's a bunch of other ones in here, but this is the one we want, just generic model. Okay, so I'm going to click that and click open. So right away, it gives me a reference floor plan for this particular model, gives me a front view, a 3D view, which nothing is in it at this point, and a left view. So these are all open, but you can see all the views over here. Now, when this model gets placed into your project, it's going to use this point right here where the reference level, let me just show you in reference level, this point right here at like 0, 0. It's going to use that as sort of its, what do you call it? Input point. So when you select component and put it into your model, it's going to use that point for you to place it somewhere. In this case, we're going to be placing something, say, on the floor. Now, there's other generic models where you could do wall base where it could be placed on a wall. So all that means is that Revit is looking for a floor or a wall, depending on which generic model that you started with. Okay, we'll get into that when we bring it into a actual file. So here's our piece of furniture. So why don't we start with this back frame here? Goes up, over, and down. Now, looking at the front frame, it looks like there's like a little chamfer angle there. So I might want to repeat that on this back edge here. So what I'm going to do for this piece, well, there's multiple ways you could do it. You could do an extrusion, or one extrusion that handles both of them, and then do another extrusion up here. or we could do one sweep that goes up, over, and down. So why don't we do that? So let's say that this piece of furniture here is 6 feet high. Okay, so here's our reference level at 0, 0. So what I'm going to do is draw a reference plane at 6 feet high. And I'll call this I'll just call it height. Okay. Now, let's go back to that piece. So this is probably, let's say, 3 feet wide. So we're going to go up 6 feet, over 3 feet, down 6 feet. So let me go to Revit. And what I want to do is actually go to the reference level plan. I want to draw on this center front back would be the reference plane that I want to draw on. So I'm going to go back to the front and I'm going to go create, sweep. I'll set my reference plane to center front back, which it is. Okay. And now I'm going to go back up here to modify sweep. I want to sketch the path first. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And my reference plane is already set. So I'm just going to go to my line tool and I'm going to go up to 6 feet. I'm going to go over 3. Don't worry too much about where it is in space quite yet because we will move it and down. So that's going to be my shape. I'm going to go ahead and move this now to the center. If I go to view 1, I can kind of see where it's being placed. Okay. And now I'm going to hit the green check here because I'm done drawing the path. And now I'm going to go to Profile, by Sketch. I'm going to leave it in by Sketch. And I'm going to click Edit Profile. Now I'm here. See that right on this thing, this sort of crosshairs here. So now I'm going to draw my profile on this. So if I look back at that picture, I'm going to do a straight edge, and then a curved edge coming around the back. So let's see. Now you have to think about how you want it to relate to the line. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to go 2 inches this way. Already seems huge. I'm going to go 2 inches this way. In fact, I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to delete it. Delete those. And let's just do 1 inch. And then I'm going to go to this tool here, start end radius. I'm going to click here, here, give it something like that. Right. Let me look at the picture again. So now where did I put the curve? Curve I want to go to the back, so I don't think I did that quite right. So I'm just going to flip this over. I'm going to go 1 inch here. There we go. And then I'm going to go 1/2 inch, straight line, 1/2 inch, straight line, and then I'll do a curve between those because I just don't want it to be that big. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to click the green check because I'm done drawing the profile. And then I'm going to click the green check because I'm done with the sweep. Now let's see what we get. Okay, that looks pretty good. So usually right now, maybe I'll switch this to perspective. That looks insane. Let's go back to orthographic. Close my internet so it stops dinging. Where are we? There we go. And I will change my graphics settings. Let's do shaded. You know the drill, as I like to do. I don't think it allows you to put any shadows on in the family file that we have going, but this will be fine. Okay. All right, so we got that back piece in. Now let's draw this piece in. So I need to go to the side view and make a reference plane that's angled like that. So I'm going to go to Revit. Let's go to left. All right, so there's my piece there. We'll call the left side of my piece the back and the right side the front. And I'm going to go to create reference plane, and I'll do something like, oh, maybe here. I'm just going to come out to there. I'm just guessing at this point. So that looks pretty good. It looks correct to me. I'm going to type angle here. Okay. So let's go to a 3D view, and I'm going to go to create, sweep, set the reference plane to angle, hit OK. Now, sometimes this isn't very helpful because I can't actually see the reference plane. So let's see if we can turn that on so that we can actually see where it is we're drawing. Let's see. View. It's probably in view. You'd think it would be. Show. Right there. It was right in the... It was in the ribbon I was looking at. I'm going to click show here so I can see it. Now let's see if I drew it in the right orientation first off. I don't know. It's kind of goofy. Let's see if we can... No, I don't want to turn that on, but I'll explain that to you. I'm going to quit the sweep. I'm going to go to... See if I can turn it on now. Okay. I'm going to set the work plane back to angle. Okay, there we go. I just needed to see it. There it is. Right there. So let me just review what I did there. I went out of the sweep, went back to, where was it? Under modify. Oh, it was under create, work plane show. So I've just turned that on. Okay. So that's handy just to see where it is we're actually drawing. Now here's another really useful tool is viewer. If I click that, what this does, let me resize it. And basically what this does is sort of, there it is. I see what happened. The reference plane in here is angled for some reason. I don't know what use that is, but it's all on that. I believe it's on that reference plane. Yeah, it is. So this right here is flat. So we're looking perpendicular to this angled work plane right here. So now if I go create, sweep, I'm going to double check that I'm on angle, which I am. Now it seems to resize, not quite sure. And now I'm going to go to my line tool here. And I'm going to just trace. Let's see if I can get a snap in here. There we go. I had to click in here first to actually draw so I can. I'm going to snap to this edge. I'm going to go up to there. I'm going to go over. I'll align this afterward. I think that will be better. I can get a vertical line down. There we go. Now I will go to align and grab the inside edge here. Align that. Is it going to let me? Let's try again. Okay, we'll just move it. Being goofy, I have to go back into sketch path and go to align. Doesn't want to do it. Bear with me, folks. Yes, I'm going to get out of the sweep here. I'm going to get out of the sweep completely. Let's start fresh. All right. Create, sweep. I'm going to double check. On the correct work plane. do that first. Seem to be locked. All right, let me get out of the viewer. Set angle. Okay, now we're in there. Turn on that viewer again. See if we can let it load here. There we go. Home. All right, let's try again. Create, sweep, sketch path. I'll grab here. I'm going to just go to there, go over to here, and go back down to there. Okay. Got it. All right. Hit escape and hit the green check. So we've got our angled path. Now I'm going to go to profile, sketch path, edit profile. Now I'm actually, the work plane here is right on there as well. So it's perpendicular, I guess. Okay. So I'll actually just draw the same kind of profile that I did on the first one on this, but let's check our picture first. I want my angle to be outward. So out here. So I'm going to do this one a little different. I'm going to go 1. And I'll go 1 down here. And I'll go 0.5. And I will go 0.5. And I'm going to put in radius between them. Hit the green check. Hit the green check one more time. And now I have that piece. Looking at it now, it looks a bit wide, but that's okay. I'll just leave that for now. I'm going to turn off my viewer. If I go to create, I can click show and turn off the, what do you call it? The plane that we're working in. So there it is. I mean, that is got the basics down of the overall shape. So I know that was a little finicky when I was trying to show you that work plane stuff, but it's a little bit of trial and error, but you'll kind of get it as you go. Just sort of don't let the work plane sort of confuse you. I think it's probably best just to put it on show, and then maybe you could try drawing it just in space. You can always use that perpendicular view if you want. Why don't we leave it here, and now I will make another video doing the rest, so the shelves. So stay tuned for that one.